All right, so we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Good luck.
Oh, fuck.
Good luck.
Fucked up.
All right, let's
Shit.
move everybody. All right, let me get back my own personal. I need to have the Discord up just in case people ask questions. I need to have. Ooh, I don't have anybody's audio on. That's a little awkward. We'll start with Alpha. Please don't do this to me. All right, we're starting off with Alpha. Let me make sure I have the Discord up just in case anybody has any questions. All right. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Banjo-Tooie Challenge Series number 2. Ring Rush is already going ahead and making some theories. So I wasn't sure exactly how to word this without spoiling necessarily that a clockwork was a timer, but I would say that that's not necessarily interacting with a different thing in a different location. Yes. It says so on the picture. So, what these guys need to do, let me just open up the challenge here. These guys need to find 20 different timers in the game. And each of those timers, they need to run it down to 0, run the clock out. And run it down to 0 means they need to actually sit there and wait until the timer runs out. And what this does is this introduces this interesting dynamic where they have to find 20 timers, but they also kind of want to find fast timers. So what is an example of a fast timer and what is an example of a slow timer? Well, a fast timer would be something like Cactus of Strength. You know, as soon as you hit the button on the Cactus of Strength, a little 20-second timer starts, and you just got to let it go down. You just got to wait 20 seconds, and even during those 20 seconds, you can go off into the world and explore and do different things. A slow timer would be something like a puzzle. There's 11 puzzles in the game, and they can count those 11 puzzles as 11 of their 20 timers. But each of those timers is by itself a 100-second timer that they're just going to have to sit and wait and watch it count down. And they doing that, they would be failing the puzzles, so they'd have to go back and complete the puzzles if they wanted to advance to future puzzles. So Cole and I went through the game, and I think we found 52 unique timers, including a clockwork counting as one and Talon Torpedo counting as one. So let's go back to the action, and we can start theory crafting. Where we think these guys are going to go, what they're going to do, what kind of timers they are going to be investing in. If anybody in the chat has any ideas, Ring Rush had one idea. They are... But, yes, of course, clockwork only counts once, so that is one of your 20 timers. We need to find 19 more. Where else are we thinking, guys? Starting off, we see that, everybody's going for JiggyWiggy. Or for, King Jingling at the start, of course. Ring Rush has a good idea. Flotus, the Flotus Floatium. There are 3 in Cloud Cuckoo Land, and each of those 3 are decently short timers. They all have the same requirements, and they are pretty short. But like you mentioned, yes, that would require Hatch and Taxi Pack. So is that a worthwhile investment? I don't know. Daddy T-Rex switch, also pretty rough because you would have to go and expand Wumba's Wigwam and then go transform. That's a lot of investment for only a single timer. Gate switch in GGM is one that I hope everybody's going to do. Opening Pot of Gold, anybody who goes to Cloud Cuckoo Land absolutely should be doing. Well, I didn't know how to word it specifically, Ring Rush, but my idea was like the floatius are 3 different objects, you know? Whereas opposed to a clockwork is the same thing, but you could do it wherever. The floatiuses are like specifically 3 different instances of an object. If we want to like take it into like a computer programming point of view. So we're jumping on board with iCup, who is running out his first timer. So already we're seeing a difference in strategy as GDO has finished his first puzzle. Not even going to worry about those timers. iCup, on the other hand, is letting his first puzzle timer run out. Very nice. This is the kind of thing I was really hoping to see, is a huge difference in strategy. And Alpha, even on the other hand, is now in GGM to start. So he is... Alpha did a lot of planning before these, coming up with no routes and stuff, and beginning routes and things of the sort. So I think he's going for what he's interested in, just what he knows, and he'll kind of expand upon everything later. Sunder 2, we could see, taking a very similar approach to iCup. Let's run out these puzzles. I think they're in the mode of thinking like, 20 timers, that sounds like a lot. I better just hit the ones that I know. Whereas GDO is probably thinking, I know this is a slow timer. I bet I can find 20 fast ones. So for some context, does anybody have any idea how many timers are in the game? I could tell you that Cole and I found a number of timers that we are not 100% sure is the exhaustive list. Oh, did I say there's about 50? Well, there's about 50. I think there's 52. I think on our list is 52 or 53 or something like that. So really 20 out of 52 is really not that many. 11 of those 52 are puzzles, so if you skip all of those, GDO's looking at finding 20 out of like the 40-ish timers. I think letting the MT puzzle run out at the beginning is a good strategy. At least the MT puzzle. Because you're definitely doing the puzzle, so you don't have to collect extra jiggies for it. Like you said, it gives you an opportunity to kind of plan out what you're doing. We can see Alpha now running out the gate switch timer, just sitting in front of Humba's hut, not accomplishing anything while he's doing this. Something I like about what GDO's doing is I think I like MT first for this route besides GGM first. One of the biggest advantages of doing GGM first in these kinds of categories is that you can skip the Goliath. But the Goliath is a timer. And if you do Goliath first, once you go around, maybe you collect Goliath Jiggy so you can get GGM puzzle, and you kick open the door. Once you've spent your time doing all that, you're already like halfway to running out the Goliath timer. So I think a big strategy element of this is figuring out what timers can you still be productive while running out these timers. And Golden Goliath is one of those. Electric Fortune, the rules are any timer which spawns a little number in the corner of the screen that counts down counts as a timer. So yes, the golden eggs have that number that counts down. That's a timer. The turbo trainers are like an invisible timer. They don't show up on your screen, so they do not count. So yeah, you can keep theory crafting. There's some interesting timers in the game. There is a 5-second timer in the game. Anyone know what that one is? Hint, we're probably not going to see any runners doing it. Harpy, the goal is to run out 20 different timers. Target Zan, I think, is a 3-second timer, actually. There's another timer that was 5 seconds that I was thinking about. But you're right, Target Zan is probably the shortest timer in the game. Now there we go with GDO running out his first timer, which is Golden Glide. He is now going to walk Mumbo back into the skull and just take Banjo on the warp pad into the code chamber area, so he can turn on JiggyWiggySpecial. Ordnance is a 200-second timer. Ordnance is a 200-second timer, and you can't do anything while you're doing Ordnance. So, I think Alpha was considering it. I think he needs, Breagle Blaster or whatever it's called? The first-person move? Alpha's just going for what he knows. Anybody who's in the Banjo Race Discord can go under active tournaments and look at BTCS and scroll up a little bit. There's the picture of the current challenge and also the rules clarification. Mentioned in the rules clarification is that this challenge has a 2-hour time limit. After 1 hour, I'm going to be releasing a list of all the levels and the number of timers that Cole and I found in those levels. Not what the timers are, just how many, so they can kind of get an idea of where they should be looking. After that, after an hour and a half into the challenge, we're going to give them the list of all the timers that we've found in the game. Aliens is a 20-second timer, which is pretty sick. And what's great about Aliens is really all you need to get to Aliens is you need Ice Eggs, which are pretty quick to get, and Talon Torpedo. Talon Torpedo itself is a timer. So I would hope that we would see Aliens from some of these runners. Here we see iCup sitting on the warp pad as Golden Goliath. 13 seconds left for him. And we have Alpha making his way to his first puzzle. We're going to see if he decides to run these timers out or not. You know, Ring Rush, that's actually a pretty sick thought, collecting notes as the Goliath. That's hard. That's hard to time, though, to be most efficient, because you definitely want to open Code Chamber with the Goliath. And I don't think you really have enough time to go open Code Chamber, then walk back out and collect notes. So you'd have to commit your time to collecting the notes up front, in which case you risk not being able to make it to Code Chamber. Torpedo only counts as 1 timer. I think Subgame is a 60-second timer. So I think nobody's brought this up. Kickball is a pretty valid strategy, because each round of kickball counts. So if you do all of MT kickball, that's 3 timers. Each of those timers, I think, is either 45 seconds or a minute. They're quick. And you don't have to lose kickball, because you can't end the minigame early. You collect your points for kickball, get as much as you can, let the timer go, and then you're on to round 2. You know? Seems Alpha is skipping the puzzles. And GDO is making his way into Target Zan, which I personally think is a great plan. Because you get the golden egg timer, which is, of course, a timer, and you get the target's in dying timer. Thank you, Dango. I appreciate that. It's, give a little bit of credit to Cole, too. This particular challenge was my idea originally, but Cole and I worked through what rules would be best suited for the challenge. My original idea for the challenge was 12 timers, but you can't count minigames. And through some talk with Cole, we agreed 20 timers, but allow anything. So. Dodgem's another idea. So Dodgem Don't is, again, 3 rounds, 60-second timers each. Cole's got the exact math. Wow, GDO ran out 2 timers at exactly the same time, which is pretty interesting. Something you have to consider is knowing where the timers is a challenge in and of itself, right? In and of itself. So you might think, oh, Dodgems is slow, but you're also not spending the time thinking, where are timers? I got 3 right here that I know about. They're safe. Just go for them. Oh, I should have made the info. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can make exclamation point info link to the picture. I would have to like upload it to Imgur, right? Let me do that real quick. Un momento, por favor. And then I think if I message your skip, if I go info, and then that, added command info. Yep, okay, so if you type exclamation point info, you'll get the current challenge. Let's get back to the action and see how everyone's doing. iCup is currently sitting in target Zan, very nice. He's going to pick up his 2 timers here. Sunder running out the timer on the GGM puzzle, going for what he knows. And I don't think it's a terrible strategy at all. Especially since when you think about a lot of fast timers, you have to also consider the time it takes to get to the timer, to get to whatever conditions you need to fulfill to even activate the timer. Puzzles, yeah, 100 seconds is a long time, but they're pretty available. Looks like iCup's going to be in the lead here after finishing target Zan. Let's hop on board with some iCup audio real quick. Let's turn... Man, I hate this. I don't want to full screen you. Let's turn Alpha off and let's head on board with iCup Speedruns, who has just finished his 4th timer. If he wants to count it. I am not keeping track. I have asked the runners themselves to maintain a counter on their stream. And they're upticking it themselves. iCup in your bottom left-hand corner of your screen, excuse me. Yep, he just upticked it himself. He is at 4. GDO is at 4 as well. Alpha making his way towards kickball. That's what I like to see. Zubbas is nice. The Zubba timer to get into Zubbas is a 20-second timer. I think 20 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that. It's short. A little downside, which isn't really much of a downside, is you do have to fail. In order for a timer to count, whatever effect is triggered by the timer running to 0 has to take place. You can't just win the minigame at the last second and have it count. You have to actually fail, and in that case, you have to fail shooting the thing 20 times, and you have to do it again if you actually want to get into the Zubba minigame. But it's very quick, so I think that is one that we will be seeing from a bunch of these players. Sunder has no on-screen counter. Bit unfortunate, but he is keeping track himself, and he will let us know when he's done. Right, opening pot of gold. Doing pot of gold's not terrible either. The gold eggs and pot of gold, I think, are the same timer as the pot of gold minigame itself. So I wouldn't count that as 2 separate timers. As opposed to Targetzan. Targetzan dying and the gold eggs are 2 separate timers. I could be wrong, though. If there's like a second instance of the timer showing up, it would count as 2 timers. We can see that iCup is now setting up his DCW. DCW is a great strategy here. Because it can take you... Well, you wouldn't want a DCW to pot of gold, because I think you would lose out on the regular timer. I'm not sure, though, if you can still press that button after pot of gold. Jiggy's already done. Plus, I think we are hoping to see a lot of these guys pick up Talon Torpedo, because that's a very short timer. Rain Rush, were you still trying to figure out what the 5-second timer I was talking about was? And that's why you said don't spoil, or...? So, the 5-second timer that I hope nobody goes for is an individual question in Tower of Tragedy. So each round of Tower of Tragedy itself are timers, but every question, and I would count that as one. One question has its 5-second timer when you buzz in. And in fact, wouldn't there even be 2 timers? These are things that I should be clearing up before the challenge starts. 1 timer for even buzzing in, and then 1 timer for after you've buzzed in, answering the questions. That'd be 2 timers, wouldn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I would say that doing it in Hag 1 is a separate timer. Let me just answer a question real quick. Did Alpha actually lose kickball? That's rough. I like what iCup's going on right now. He pressed the gate switch, and he's being productive, rather than just sitting around waiting. That is an excellent strategy, and I would like to see more of that from our runners. Meanwhile, GDO doing the same kind of thing, running the clock out on the Cactus Strength Jiggy, but still making forward progress. timer did still run out, but I think he's trying to win kickball so that he can get to the next round. And Sunder is waiting 200 seconds. Now what Sunder's doing right now is he's dancing instead of planning out his route. I don't know if that's what we like to see. Jesus, this is like a 3.5-minute timer. But it's there. He knows it. He knows it exists. Just do what you know. Does shooting one of the TNT make the timer go down to 5? See, now that's an interesting question. I don't know. Would that count as 2 timers? Yeah, because there's like the regular ordnance minigame and then the TNT timer. I think those are 2 separate timers. I think that is an excellent catch. Excellent catch, Mr. Zebra, that I didn't think of. Or it's not a timer. Just kidding. Or you're talking about the toxic gas barrel is not a timer. You're right. Gogo asked a question in chat earlier. Does drowning count? No, drowning does not count because it is not a timer that it shows up on your screen like a little number that counts down to 0. That is what we have defined timers to be. But I think I'll make a judgment call right now. Ordnance storage and blowing up a dynamite in ordnance storage are 2 separate timers. Exactly, bootleg pickle. I think GDO thought that might have been a timer. GDO went, or no, that's not a timer. GDO went and pressed the button for the jump pad on the way up to Inferno, Jiggy. But it's not a timer, it's a split up check. You're supposed to stand on that button as Banjo and have Kazooie run up and do it. It was a good thought, it was a good try. Didn't ultimately work out. You can see that Alpha and iCup are both making their way to Crazy Castle. Of course, there's too many games in here. There's the Balloon Burst and the Hoop Hurry, each of which are a timer. I think they're each 60-second timers. So, yeah, you're not going to see that every day. Let's do a little check-in with GDO's audio, just because we're just going to be hearing some minigame music from iCup. Take a look. Where's GDO? How are you doing, bud? Oh my god, look at that. So I didn't notice that. Yes, a skill stop honeycomb is a timer. Man, I need to update some of these numbers. So I would say the skill stop honeycomb is a timer, and the random stop honeycomb. Yeah, 2 timers. But they're not, you can't go and get skill stop honeycombs in a bunch of different locations. Oh, is that true, Ring Rush? I didn't know that. I did know that the first enemy you killed, I guess my wrong thought was the first enemy you killed ever anywhere dropped a skill stop. I didn't know that it was tied to level, and I didn't know that it was specifically the exclamation point skill stop. I thought it would be random, one of the two, but thank you, Ring Rush, for the knowledge drop. I didn't know that. Let me see. Let me edit my thing with some extra things that we found. Let's see. 4 there. And then an extra 1. Well, actually, that one's not confirmed, so I'm not going to write it. Let's see. We got the skill stop. Just editing my list of the hints that we're going to be introducing an hour and a half into the run. We see GDO as a van, and he just made his way out of Dodgems Domes. That suggests to me that he is going for those 3 minigames. Yeah, it's pretty funny, Ring Rush. Yeah, that's one that I totally didn't consider, and it's easy to miss. So good job, GDO, for finding it. We see Alpha is now running up the timer on Moonburst. GDO is hopefully going to complete this minigame, unless his intention is to only do 1 round. I sure hope GDO doesn't think that he needs to lose. I think GDO thinks that he has to lose, which he doesn't. I'm just gonna... I don't think this is necessarily cheating, but... because I think GDO just has a misunderstanding of the rules, and I don't want him to lose time because he's misunderstanding the rules. I'm gonna tell him that in mini games that are naturally run out because they are timed, you are allowed to win them. Okay, anyways. Where is Sunders on his stream? Is it on his gameplay? Oh, it's off the gameplay. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so GDO admits he's a dummy. We're also let's jump on board with Sunder for a little while. Let's see what he's up to. Looks like Sunder's doing some mini games. Let's turn him up, turn GDO back down. Hopping on board with Sunder, he is in Hoop Hurry. And he's I mean he can win this minigame. Win the minigame, get the Jiggy if he wants to do some more puzzles. What are the requirements for the challenge? If you ever have a question about what the challenge is, you can type !info in the chat. And it will give you the rules of the challenge. If you want the more specific rules that were given to the runners, you can join the Banjo Race Discord. Go to the BTCS channel under Active Tournaments, and you can see the discussion there, which includes a short little blurb of rules clarifications that I posted. Ring Rush made a comment. I assume multiplayer is banned. Well, by the rules of the challenge, no, multiplayer was not banned, because I didn't think of it. So... I mean, I guess I can only... Or no, there's a rule in there that everything has to be completed on the same file. And multiplayer is not completed in a file. So no. Based on those rules that are in there, multiplayer would not count. What is this timer that... Oh, GDO's got his skill stop now instead of his random stop. Yeah, those are two sick, really quick timers that I had totally not even thought about. And you can pick them up anywhere, so... Good on GDO for that. I don't think we've seen any other runners pick those up, have we? Because what have we seen iCup do? iCup's run the timeout on 2 puzzles, I think. Golden Goliath. No, 1 puzzle, Golden Goliath. Targets and gold eggs. And then 3, was he doing a minigame or something? I don't remember what iCup was doing. But on board with Thunderstorm, we see him looking at a wall. Hopefully, he is now running through his notes, running through his resources, furiously looking for any other timers that he might want to find. Something that is great about this challenge, and one of the reasons that I did this as the second challenge, one of the ones earlier on in the series, is because it does give you these moments of rest. Pretty rare in a speedrun that you can put the controller down. But this challenge gives you ample opportunities to straight up put the controller down and plan out what you want to do. So I did think this would be a generally beginner-friendly category. Alright, GDO has 10 timers already. Wow, that is pretty good. He's going to be picking up 2 more here from the Crazy Castle. When we were originally formulating this challenge, we were wondering, especially when we were considering to put the count down low, such as 12 or 15, will anybody just finish the category in the first 3 levels? Because you think, yeah, you can just stay in the first 3 levels to get 15 timers, but there are a lot of slow timers. So we did pump that number up to 20, and now I'm kind of wondering, now that the skill stop honeycombs are a thing, which we didn't even think about, that's 2 more timers, can you actually do this in just the first 3 levels? Might be possible. Not sure. Empty Pillars does have a timer, yes. And what's good about that timer is you can initiate it and then just fuck off. Go do other things. Although, I do wonder, like, how much actually can you do that? If you start the timer, swim out, head to the warp pad, can you warp? Or does warping turn off the timer? Would you just have to stay in prison compound? How useful would that be? Yeah, I mean, doing the whole challenge in the first 3 levels. Or are you talking about doing replay menu stuff? Yeah, replay menu. There is a clause in the signups for every challenge that everything must be done on the same file. I don't think thinking about empty pillars is very nerdy. I think some of the shit you're coming up with is quite nerdy, but any casual player would know that empty pillars has a timer. Yeah. But you're right, that is one. No, I'm not saying that Beak Huddle is necessarily a casual. I'm more going off speedrunning taints your brain, you know? Speedrunners don't even think there's a timer there anymore because they never do it the timer way. But any casual player would have most recently done it the casual way, which has the timer. And for the record, Cole remembered that there was a timer at Pillars and I didn't, so... You think Cole's a casual? He's the new world record holder of all bosses. Don't ever call that man a casual, or even allude to it. Alright, where the heck is Thunderstorm? Thunderstorm is on his way to get Dodgem Dome set up. Thunderstorm, by the way, has 7 timers. Thunderstorm's got 7 timers right now, so he's going to be looking to pick up his next 3. Cole also is the world record holder in the Cactus of Strength timer with a 20. I think he's the first and only person to figure out how to get a 20 there. Although I don't know if it was Tass or not. We see GDO now making his way to Minky Django. He's setting up his DCW Minky Django. Figures there's a bunch of timers in Cloud Cuckoo Land. Let's go explore that area. Ooh. GDO has changed his mind. He's going to DCW straight to the trash can. That is interesting. Ooh, this begs the question. I hope the trash can doesn't soft lock you. I'm sure GDO's done this before. I think he knows what where he can DCW. Alright, I'm gonna swap over to GDO audio rail real quick. I do think GDO is currently in the lead, and I do think GDO's got a very smart strategy for how he's gonna finish off the rest of these timers. There are so many timers in CCL that he has access to. Trash can, open pot of gold. Excuse me. What is the worst timer? Ooh, you can't talk to Guffo unless you're solo K, buddy. See ya. It's the last JiggyWiggy puzzle. Excluding puzzles, what's the next worst timer? Probably Tower of Tragedy 3. Because you would need to fight Klungo. Yeah, Clinkers is hard to get to, and it's 200 seconds. But the third round of Tower of Tragedy, I think, is the worst. You gotta kill Klungo, you gotta get up there, and you have to do the first 2 rounds, obviously, so... Clinkers might be one of the worst, like, single timers. Because at least Tower of Tragedy is a package of, like, 5 timers. Oh, can you do that? I didn't even know you could do that. That's interesting. So would you see a bit of a difference in routes between iCup and GDO, who I think are the 2 frontrunners at the moment? iCup foregoing the DCW, opting to head straight to Clifftop, pick up Talon Torpedo, maybe pick up the Aliens timer. And maybe he's thinking, oh, I'll go to HFP, do HFP kickball. That's another 3 timers right there. Ooh, Go-Go's at 13. That's pretty sick. I wish we would have been able to get him on stream. PGH Sentry, thank you for the raid. Take a look. GDO now, newly Solo Kazooie, is going to be making his way through the Guffo minigame. Doesn't really need to win this at all. I mean, he gets a Jiggy, but he's not going to go for any more puzzle timers, so... I think he's done with this. Ice X from iCup, I think, is pretty sick. You know, he's going to get aliens, like you said, but also doing things in this order. We are... iCup has the ability to go to Pot of Gold if he wants a DCW here. Thank you, PGH. We've got a race between, I think, 6 people right now, 4 of which are on stream. So good luck to all those runners. We're having a good time so far. Hope your Smash tournament was great. I used to be a big Smasher. Not quite anymore, though. But anyways, yes, Schlongster, if they want to count their puzzle timers, they need to lose them. They need to run out the time, and the only way to run out the time in a puzzle is to lose the puzzle. Correct, Schlongster, in the case of puzzles. Some minigames are timed regardless of whether you win or lose. Like this one right here, GDO desperately trying to kill himself there. Like this this one that GDO just did. If you had won and finished the timer, same outcome. We see Alpha making his way over to this Globo. He's got 2 Globos. I think he's just being safe, because I don't know what he would necessarily need those for. Maybe to become the B later, if he thinks this is his fastest Globo available to him right now. Oh, make it, GDO! Whoa, that was close. That had the potential to be not great. But he made it up there. I think GDO's plan here might be collect the notes for Clockworks. Because Clockworks, this, you know, besides being the ubiquitous, you know, best move in the game, most useful for speedrun strats, Clockworks are a timer. By my count, I think you've nailed everything that I know of in JRL. Let's see, JRL. Crispy Bacon, Subgame, UFO, and then, of course, Talon Torpedo, which doesn't actually have to be activated in JRL. You can activate it anywhere to count. But, yes, that is what JRL is useful for. Maybe there's a world where you want a Toxic Waste DCW, I wouldn't expect so. So GDO's making his way out of CCL with the perfect amount of notes, 295. So he can collect the 20 that are here, get up to 315, and get his clockworks. It'll be interesting to see if GDO wants to go back into CCL, pick up those quick B timers. But maybe he'll hold off on CCL for the time being. Go find progress elsewhere. So Alpha just drowned. Which, no, he's not counting that as a timer. That was just his way of getting back to the surface. iCup2 just working on his minigames, working on his kickball. And Sunder, we see, is about to set up a DCW, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. I'm eating rice. Anyways. We are 52 minutes into this challenge. In about 6 minutes, I'll say, I'm going to release to all the runners a hint as to the number of timers that Cole and I have found in each location. You know, iCup's run hasn't been particularly flashy, but I mean, iCup's kind of going the route of just do the first thing he sees every single time, and it's kind of paying off for him. I think GDO's being a little slicker, or at least trying to be a little slicker with the timers he picks, and he is in the lead right now, I'd say. But you can only count the clockwork timer once, according to the current rules. Going on, Fair. Thanks for the good luck. You think GDO's going to get 6 kickballs? He did learn clockworks. Yeah, he hasn't done the clockwork one, yeah. So I guess what this means is the kickball split in 100% usually counts, or takes about 9 minutes. So I think GDO's gonna be done very soon here. That was pretty sick. Bootleg, when I release the first hint list at 1 hour in, it will just be every level listed with the number of timers we found in the levels. So I'll tell you right now what it's going to say is it's going to say anywhere 4, referring to Clockworks, Talon Torpedo, and the 2 special honeycombs. It'll say Isla Hags 15, which 11 of those are puzzles. MT7, GGM 3, Witchy World 6, JRL 3, TDL 2, GI 4, HFP 3, being the 3 kickballs, of course, that we're going to be seeing GDO do, and CCL 8. That is all the information they're going to have for the first hint. Wow. That was pretty sick from GDO. Using the clockwork to get into the pool. That was a functional timer right there. Yeah, anywhere is just like a way to organize the thoughts here. So we got 2 of our on-stream runners currently running kickball. Man, it's actually really sick the way GDO has routed this. I'm very impressed. I thought 20 timers was going to be a lot, but he found 2 timers I didn't even think of, and he routed very, very well. So good on him for this. Meanwhile, Alpha doing the sub-minigame. Sub-minigame is a 60-second minigame Took him a little bit of time to get down there to transform and such, but I mean, I don't hate this. Alpha's doing what he knows, doing what he found. And I mean, we gotta think for a second. We can't count out iCup yet. He is at 15 timers. This is going to be his 16th and 17th. I have no idea, Ring Rush, but that would be the most hilarious thing I have ever seen since Connor75 dying to the Zubas minigame. But iCup, yeah, he's going to have this round of kickball here, one more after this, and then he has to find 3 more timers before GDO can finish 3 rounds of kickball. All right, Alpha's run out his 10th timer. Meanwhile, Sunderstorm making his way to kickball. Man, I really didn't think anybody was going to go for HFP kickball, but I really, really like what GDO did. So, Sunderstorm maybe not making his way to kickball, making his way to prison compound. Are we going to be seeing pillars from him? Maybe a quick route back into GGM. I wonder what we're going to see here. He's making a beeline for pillars. Excuse me. Let me release the hit real quick. All right, so you heard it here first. Ring Rush called Sunderstorm a nerd for knowing that the pillars Jiggy had a timer. Meanwhile, Alpha making his way to the Crispy Bacon timer. Okay, let's take a look here. So, ooh. Wait, GDO just failed kickball, did he? Oh, it didn't matter because that was round 3. So here's the thing. I think iCup versus GDO is going to be close here. iCup needs 3 more timers. He's going to be DCWing the pot of gold, maybe doing pot of gold, doing the pot of gold switch, and then doing the Zubba switch maybe? Yeah, someone please check on GoGo. Because this is actually a very close race between GDO and iCup. Although I think GDO's got the edge here. GoGo's at 14. Then yeah, I do think we're gonna see GDO and iCup get first and second. So Bikado, iCup just went to the replay menu and set up his DCW. So he needs to actually do the minigame here and then leave and do stuff. Ooh, GoGo with the Flotus stuff. That's I was thinking, I don't know if that's worth it, like, because they're short timers, but they have a lot of setup, so I'm not 100% sure. Alpha, of course, probably going to win this minigame. I mean, you have to win the minigame in order for the timer to count. GDO on his way to his second to last kickball game. And there's iCup just draining the clock, which is smart. Because if he were to win this, then he would spawn stuff, waste some time he didn't need to. Alpha with his 11th timer. Now that the timer has hit 1 hour for everybody, this is going to be a good time for Alpha to look at the hint that I posted. Maybe it'll help him decide where he wants to go next. All right, iCup's got 2 timers left. I don't know. I think GDO's got this. GDO's got 60 seconds left. iCup needs to hit this button here, which I don't even know if it still works. It has to, right? He's not hitting the button. Uh-oh. Is he going to try to do Zubba's minigame? I wonder if iCup just forgot about the button. Yeah, GDO's got this in the bag. 35 seconds until GDO scores first place here. I don't think he could have. Oh, with a button plus a skill stop, you're right. Yes. Yes, he could have. Dang. And I'm pretty happy that the challenge ended up being like the person who knew the best and figured out the most ended up being the winner, and that's time for GDO. Let's bring him in here. I think that's time, right? Let me just make sure. All right, GG's.
Hola.
What was the final time?
102.18.
102.18. Well done. I'm very impressed by your route.
I paused like right on the right as like the timer clicked to 0 and the text box popped up.
So I gotta say, you were the only person to figure out that the skill stop honeycomb and the random stop honeycomb were timers.
Yeah. See, I thought about that. I knew that they were timers, but you know, and I know that they spawn when you kill enemies, right? But when I killed the enemy inside Mumbo's, I was like, oh shit, that was a random stop. Because I wasn't looking for them at that point, because it didn't click to me at the very beginning. So then when I killed the dude in Space Zone, I warped away and I was like, that was a skill stop honeycomb. So when I warped back to go open dodgems, I was like, oh, it's still there. Good. So I was able to use both. And then the goal wasn't to get clockwork eggs and run that timer out. I was gonna originally DCW to pot of gold.
Right, I saw that.
But then I didn't want to go to Clifftop and learn ice eggs yet because I wanted to finish with kickball.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I'll just because I was gonna get Zubba's and trash can and pot of gold. But then I was just like, okay, I can sub one of them for clockworks, and then I looked at all of my like options, and I was like, oh, I can actually just cut another one because I'm gonna get 6 with kickball.
Right.
Like.
Yeah, it was really well routed.
Yeah.
And you and iCup were like so close at the end, we weren't sure who was gonna win. iCup DCW to pot of gold, finished it. He had 2 more to get, and he walked right past the pot of gold button. And he walked right past the honeycomb box, which, could have been a skill stop honeycomb. And he didn't go for
yeah, I
didn't
even think of that.
He's in trash can right now.
Button.
But I think he could have won if he realized where his fastest timers were.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the button on top of the coin pile to open up pot of gold. Otherwise, I would have.
Right.
I probably would have done that instead because I didn't know that if you DCW to trash can, you can't just do the game.
Yeah, you gotta be solo K.
Yeah. So another thing that wasn't in the rules, I don't think so, but I was gonna ask is, would it have been legal to do the timers from the minigame menu?
No. So that was something that Ring Rush was bringing up, and the reason is because in the rules when you first signed up, it said like everything must be completed on the same file.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Yeah. Okay. General.
Yeah, that's a general
rules,
rule.
Yeah. Did anyone else do Target Zan?
Yes, iCup did Target Zan.
Yeah.
That was very slick because you wouldn't think it'd be fast, but there's that second timer there with the gold eggs, so it's actually pretty sick.
Yeah. When I was doing Dodgems round 1, just sitting there losing the game. I was trying to think of timers that aren't minigames because most minigame timers are at least like anyone who doesn't do like kickball is just throwing.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
But there's so many minigame timers that are like, you know, a minute to 2 minutes kind of thing. Like, I guess not really minigames. Things like ordnance storage. So I chose not to do that because I was like, it's a 200-second timer. Probably not.
That brings up a good point about ordnance. Is that ordnance is a 200-second timer, right?
Yeah.
Unless you blow up one of the dynamites.
Yeah, but it just stops the timer and ends the game. It doesn't
does it
tick
not?
to 0, does it?
I thought it becomes a 5-second timer. I don't remember. That's when the chat was like theory crafting, but I wasn't sure about.
I'm pretty sure when you blow up a TNT stick, your timer just disappears and like everything starts shaking.
Yeah, Cole just confirmed in chat no timer, so never mind. But some other good meme timers where you think Tower of Tragedy, right? That's the 3 timers for the 3 rounds. There's also
those are long ass timers.
There's also the individual question. Like before you buzz in, and then there's answering after you buzz in. Would have been 2 other timers. iCup! iCup just opened Zubba's, and he's gonna do Zubba's minigame instead of just running out the timer for Zubba's, like for the statue. iCup!
That's a big meme.
The timer was on your screen, buddy.
All right, let me get this up so I can complete too.
It's I'm streaming to the call.
I see it.
Yeah, Unga Bunga in the chat for iCup.
That is a pretty big Unga
Yeah, I was sitting there like, oh yeah, iCup's about to be done. He's approaching the statue, and then he starts shooting it.
You know, I didn't really think about it until you mentioned the meme like timers for Tower of Tragedy, but I think DCWing to Tower of Tragedy probably would have been the play.
Oh yeah.
Because if you DCW to Tower of Tragedy, I mean, you wouldn't wait out the whole round, but the question timers and like, yeah, the question and answer timers probably would have been
real quick,
Yeah. And I mean, that's the same, like, I only got 1 timer from DCWing to CCL.
Right.
Because I wanted to make it fast, so. I like that, I like that.
And time for iCup. Let's bring him in. Alright, we gotta chastise him when he comes in here. Alright, GG's.
GG's.
Alright, so iCup. So the chat is spamming Unga Bunga, Monkey Brain Go Burr.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think that is?
Well, I know at the end
I
had a completely different route in mind, but I didn't realize that trash can was a timer.
The chat is sorry, I didn't listen.
I'll let you break the news, Mumbo.
So iCup, how did you get into Zubba's minigame?
As the B?
As the B, yeah, but how did you open the door?
Yeah, you know that door has a timer on it, right?
How did you open the door? You shot at the statue, right?
Yeah. I completely forgot that door has a fucking timer, man.
Man, so
because it's something that shouldn't have a timer, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just something you never notice.
Yeah. No, Alpha, no. Alpha's trying to get onto the button for the pot of gold timer, which you also ran by the way, iCup. The button to open the top door of pot of gold has a timer on it too.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the
what
little
Alpha's...
coin pile. Because
like
we have to like rush the timer to get into the pot of gold.
Oh, yes. Alpha.
Oh, Alpha doesn't know the jump off the mountain probably.
Hey there.
Hi, Gogo.
Hi, Gogo.
How'd you do?
I got a 10801.
10801. Very nice. Mark's 3rd place. Good job. So we were just talking about all the timers that iCup just ran by. Oh, Alpha knows the jump.
I feel like there's so many timers that I discovered in CCL just as I was trying to reach the mini games.
So I did hear that you went for the floatiest floatiums, which there's 3 of them and they're each a timer.
Yep.
Which is pretty,
I was like,
slick.
I was like, all right, each of these timers is like 20 seconds. That's pretty fast, except
Hold on.
it really wasn't fast because it takes so many hits.
Oh, Alpha died! And he has to go back and do the timer again. He's spamming his eggs because he's upset. Alpha died.
The only timer I got in CCL was the trash can minigame. I didn't even think of the other ones.
Huh. I mean, I can't.
Go ahead.
The funny thing is that I was like about to do Zubba's mini game, but then I was like, damn, you actually need to use a timer to open that door.
Yeah, I would have bopped you if I realized that.
Sunder, by the way, on stream you can't see Sunder's timer count, but he's at 18 right now.
18?
18,
okay.
So I think Sunder is on track to be the next to finish here.
But yeah, the list that I got was the empty puzzle, sewer switch, targets, and golden eggs, golden gull. I had 2 crazy castles, pot of gold timer, pot of gold 3 the trash can, Zubba's was statue, Champa, and I'm forgetting one more, but I did know that like I got one more.
Yeah.
Did you end up getting? You didn't get the skill stop or the random stop honeycomb, did you?
Those have a timer.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
GDO's the only one who got them.
Oh my god.
GDO's
damn, those are
my 20 timers where I got the skill stop honeycomb and the random stop honeycomb. I did the gold eggs and target Zan. I did the GGM gate. I did the 3 rounds of dodgems, cactus, hoop hurry, balloon burst.
I didn't do that.
Trash can, the clockwork egg timer, and all 6 rounds of kickball.
I think the most notable thing, the 2 notable things about GDO's route were the 2 honeycombs, and also he didn't do any puzzles.
Oh yeah, I just like immediately did the MT puzzle. I was like, I'm not waiting 100 seconds for this.
To be fair, I was still routing my thing when I was doing that, so it was not all that wasted.
Right. Yeah, that's
when
I
was
brought that point up, is that it's an opportunity to plan your route.
When I was doing like GGM, or when I was doing the Witchy World dodgems, when I was still running through MT, I was like, I wonder if I shouldn't have been skipping these timers, because does the game even have that many timers? And then when I was like, well, dodgems.
Guys, Alpha's struggling, by the way. Like, I just gotta bring attention to the top left corner of your screens. Alpha got this button fine. Oh, he's jumping off anyways. He's having a meltdown a little bit.
Did he die before the timer ticked to 0?
Yes.
Oh. Did someone DCW to TOT?
Nobody did
no,
any TOT stuff.
That would have been a good play,
him on Mac Walls.
Me and Mumbo were talking about that before I got in here.
You've got the 3 timers from the 3 rounds of TOT, but that's not the best part. The best part is answering one question. Like buzzing in is a 5-second timer, and then after you buzz in, there's a 5-second timer to answer the question. So that's 2 quick timers.
What about if you get the question wrong and then there's another timer?
I know that's the same. That's the first timer. It just continues where it left off.
Okay, yeah.
We have a Thunderstorm in the bottom right-hand corner in Trash Can, running up the timer to be his 19th timer. So hopefully we're going to be seeing Sunder finishing very soon here.
I feel like I didn't think of any of the obvious fast ones besides the one in GGM.
Yeah, this one was a huge knowledge check. What the heck is Alpha doing? Is he just exploring, I think? He's just running out the timer.
He's just running out the timer for Trash Can minigame.
Alright.
How many timers does he have?
Alpha has 14 right now.
14.
Working on his 15th. Sunder's got 19, and he's making his way over to Humba, I think, to either do the Zubba statue or do the Zubba's minigame like iCup did. Let's find out.
Anyway, I guess I'm gonna go eat there. It's my dinner time.
Okay, do what you gotta do, bud. Good
I'll
job in
wish
third
you.
place. Hope to see you again for the next race.
Yeah, thanks for having that.
Of course.
I wish you good luck. I wish good luck to whoever's remaining.
Yep.
GG's, go.
GG's.
GG's.
Alright, so maybe Sunder already did. Ooh, Sunder's going for the clockwork. Yeah, that good call, Ring Rush. Yes, Sunder's gonna be finishing very quick here. That's pretty sick.
I didn't think I was gonna have enough notes for clockworks, but then I looked at my note count and I was like, well, if I get the CCL treble, I'll have enough. So just barely. So
I didn't think I'd have enough notes for clockworks, but then I looked at my notes and I had enough notes for clockworks.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, that's basically the whole thought.
I'm glad I didn't do my original route, which was going all the way to friggin' Champa.
I think Gogo said he did Champa.
I just came up with the first 20 timers that popped into my head and then did it. Like just
for me, I tried to do the timers in levels that like I was gonna be in regardless, and then I didn't want to go like I never went to JRL, I never went to TDL, I never went to GI, and I only went to HFP to get to Coliseum.
And time. That's your 20th.
GG, Sunder.
Stop the timer.
GG's.
I think he's like 116.59. He didn't stop his own timer, but let's go pull him in. All right, GG's.
I felt much better about this one, though I made some questionable decisions.
You beat Alpha.
Yeah, you did. You did beat Alpha. What did you think, Sunder? Oh, by the way, speaking of Alpha, Alpha just ran out the timer on the Zubba's statue.
He's up to 16. Now he'll probably do the Zubba game.
Right. Okay, sorry.
Oh, dude, Alpha's just sitting on the mountain shooting the statue. That's the first time I've ever seen. What? Why did he take off?
Because you shoot slower standing. So.
I know that. I thought he was gonna fly past it.
All right, Sunder, walk us through your thought process.
Alright, well, one, I didn't know how long any of the timers were, so choosing ordnance storage was definitely a mistake.
Ordnance.
I was gonna do ordnance, but I'm like, wait, that's 200.
Yeah,
another thing, I wasn't sure if I needed wing whack for garbage, so I went and got that, but I probably didn't need it. I was planning on doing UFO and submarine minigame, but then I started realizing how close I was, and I'm like, I don't need to do any of that.
Right, yeah. So I'll fill you in on what we had been talking about for the past like 10-ish minutes. GDO found two really quick ones that nobody else did. The skill stop honeycomb and the random stop honeycomb.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
They're, what are they, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
I think they're 10 seconds each.
They're super quick ones, which I think definitely helped GDO get first.
And your first, I think your first honeycomb when you open Witchy World is guaranteed to be a random stop.
Yeah, Ring Rush mentioned that your first honeycomb in MT is a skill stop, and your first in Witchy World is a random stop.
Interesting.
Or not in Witchy World, but if you've been to Witchy World, I think.
Okay.
I remember we had that conversation a really long time ago in the Banjo Discord.
How many people did Pillars?
I think you're the only one. And I'll have you know...
I forgot Pillars at the time.
Rain Rush said that anybody who does Pillars is a nerd. Or said something like, you know, whoever does that is just showing off that they're a nerd or something like that. But Rain Rush
whoever does that probably doesn't speedrun 100%.
That would have been a really good idea to do Pillars, because if you do Golden Goliath, you have to kill the time anyway. So
yeah, I actually didn't even do that because I wasn't 100% sure if I'd even have enough time. But I just did it on my way back when I did kickball.
Right.
Okay.
So I had grenade eggs.
Oh, let me turn the audio onto alphas real quick.
Yeah, Pillars is a hilarious timer. How long is that timer? Like 30 seconds?
It's like 40 seconds or something. 45.
Something like 45. Most timers are 45.
I was like right at the very end as I was like going to get my clockworks, realized that Zubbo was actually 2 timers instead of 1, so I realized that would have been really good.
Alpha is making his way to HFP. He has 17 timers, and he's in HFP. That can only mean one thing, guys.
Kickball time.
Kickball time. Thank you, GDO.
Oh, is he not done kickball yet, or did he only do MT?
He only did MT.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
GDO
earlier...
was the only one who did MT and HFP all in one go, which was pretty smart.
Yeah, I did both of them
did
at
you
the
do
same time.
At the same time, Mike Up?
Yep.
Okay, that was that's
Kickball was the
smart.
first thing that came with the mind because it's 6 timers.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I was saying to Mumbo, like, when I first got in here, like, anyone who didn't do kickball is just throwing.
Yeah.
Did you end up doing HFP kickball, Thunderstorm?
Yes, I did all 6 at once.
Oh, you did them all at once too? Oh, well, then I don't know what I think Alpha's the only one who did them separately, so... He's looking for the Globo he already got?
Yeah.
He's gonna try to turn the Globo? Nope.
I was really unsure about doing dodgems, but in the end it was just like it's 3 all in one, so I mean it's just less movement that it takes forever to open, but it's just 3 less places I have to think of going.
Did you end up doing it?
Oh yeah, I did dodgems.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering if I did it too. I was wondering if it was a good idea or not.
Like
Guys,
3 dodgems, balloon burst, hoop hurry, and cactus plus kickball is like 11 mini games. Well, not mini games, but 11 timers.
Yeah.
So I was like,
from Electric Fortune. Man, this makes
do it,
me want to
Electric.
learn BT stuff. Watch out, fellas. He's coming.
Wait, I have a question that I did not know. Can you still do puzzles after you do JiggyWiggySpecial?
I think yes, but like the Jiggy counts are all fucked up.
I actually don't know.
Oh, weird, because I went to do my GM puzzle before, or GGM puzzle before doing JiggyWiggySpecial because I wasn't sure if I would like lose that timer.
Yeah, puzzle timers are pretty big yikes for me.
I mean, it's really not that bad because if you think about it, the MT puzzle is basically free to get to, so it's a 100-second timer, which is a minute and a half, which is, if you think about both kickballs being about 9 minutes, I think is in the 100% route.
Something like that. It's 45 seconds per game.
Plus, like, all the bullshit around it. So,
yeah.
Doing the MT puzzle is on par with doing kickball, I think. And it gives you the time to think. But I think going for
6 timers versus puzzle, 1 timer.
So I'm probably the only one who did more than one puzzle.
Yeah, I think that might have been...
Is this Alpha's first... Uh-oh.
Oh,
he
man.
doesn't know.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, man, he's upset. I can't wait to bring him in here and he'll be like, man, I didn't know. I totally was not paying attention to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was almost really mad at losing mine Kickball 3, but then I was like, wait a second, it's the 3rd game, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't have any doors to open, I don't care.
Alright, Alpha's playing goalie like a good boy. Speaking of, I'll just go ahead and post the list now. Are the specific timers that Cole and I found, which with skill stop and random stop honeycomb added after the fact, because they weren't even on my radar until GDO did them.
Or anywhere.
There's 15 timers in Isle of Hags. Does that count the puzzles?
Yes.
So that's
still.
I couldn't think of a single Isle of Hags one that was not a puzzle.
I couldn't either.
I don't remember what they were. What did we count?
Let's have a look.
Oh, Tower Tragedy.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I could have made a separate section for Cauldron Keep, but it's Isle of Hags enough for me.
Yeah, I had on my little notepad the T-Rex, the big T-Rex switch in TDL, but I was trying my hardest not to go to that level.
That one would have been pretty slow, I think.
I thought about Target Zan, and then my brain told me that it actually isn't a timer, so I didn't go.
Well, just him dying is a timer, after you reduce his health to 0.
Yeah, once you kill the last set of Moggies, he counts down like 3 seconds.
Oh, so that would have been really good then.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the gold eggs as well, yeah.
I thought about doing crispy bacon originally, but I'm like, wait, I could easily skip JRO.
Yeah, I considered the EMP cutscenes as well, but again, I really wanted to avoid going to any other levels.
Wow. Oh my. Okay, I'm very upset at myself at some of these. These are things that I saw. Oh wait, you just that I went by. Yeah, things that I went by are like that I just like thought about. I'm like, no, that's not a timer. Like cactus, it was like that's not a timer, and I just went right by it.
It would have been worth checking though.
Yeah.
Just shoot a grenade at it and then leave if it wasn't a timer.
The Hag 1 questions.
Oh, the T-Rex switch. That would have been a bad one anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, Old King Cole has a timer. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that either. That would have been slow too.
I didn't know Old King Cole had a timer.
I don't know what happens if you run it out, to be honest.
Where is there a timer on Old King Cole?
Like during the boss fight. I think is that GG for Alpha? Alright, let's bring him in.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, because you have an error meter, but it's not a timer.
There is a timer though. Alright, let's bring him in. Alright, GG's. Actually, I'll stop this timer too.
Alright,
GG Alpha.
GG's.
Electric Fortune says he thinks that Old King Cole makes the room hot and your air depletes quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just air bubbles and not a timer, but
no, there is a timer though.
Okay.
Because what I did before this challenge is I just looked at 100% PB and I ran through the entire route and I took note of every timer I saw. Like I put it on 3 times.
Well, you wouldn't have seen pillars.
I wouldn't have seen, and exactly, I didn't put pillars on the list. That's one that.
Oh really?
Later. I knew I wouldn't get all of them, and that's why I added that little clause about, any timer that's not on the list that you get will still count.
Yeah.
But let's talk Alpha. All right, GG's.
GG Alpha.
How was it? Alpha, are you muted?
He's speechless.
I think Alpha's muted.
Yeah, you're right. There is a timer during Old King Cole.
I think does he not think he's at 20 right now? He's still going.
He has 20 marked.
He marked his timer, his counter.
Is his
I mean, he's in here, like.
I dragged him in here though. His timer's still running. Maybe he doesn't know how to decrement his timer. I'm gonna put him back just in case.
Maybe, yeah, maybe he.
Right click, by the way, makes your timer go down, or your counter go down. Okay, I guess Alpha wasn't done. How do you undo?
Oh no, he's doing ordnance. I don't know. Once you stop a timer. Yeah, because
I know it's A on my keyboard, but
let me see. Let's see if Google knows. Live split, undo.
So when Old King Cole makes the room really hot, your air meter shows up, but it goes away before the air significantly depletes at all. So I only have a minute left. Let's see what happens if this timer runs out. Maybe he goes into like goblin mode.
Oh, he's doing what I did.
You gotta hit one dynamite first. Now he's sitting there like.
I made the same mistake.
Seconds.
I was like waiting. I'm like, oh.
You gotta wait. It's like 2:05 then.
It's 200 seconds. Yeah.
I know, but it takes like 5 seconds to hit the first one.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is the last one.
You would hope. I think what happened is Alpha doesn't know that you can right click to make the counter go down one.
So here's another thing that I did that was really stupid. I was looking for garbage for the garbage can. And I went out the wrong door. Right next to the button for the pot of gold entrance, and I didn't realize that was timer.
Yeah, I never hit that button either. Otherwise, I just wouldn't have done. Because I DCW'd 2 trash can, and then I didn't know that when you DCW'd a trash can, you couldn't just immediately do the game, so I had to leave.
So what do you guys want to do for the next 134 seconds? Chat? Suggestions?
Okay, so Old King Cole makes like the ground really hot, and that like depletes your air timer. When the timer reaches 0, Old King Cole is like, roar, my boiler is now at maximum heat, and it stays heated.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so once it stays heated, your air just constantly drains. That's interesting. I didn't know that he was like powering up his boiler as you fought him.
Right. And that also begs the question, I wonder what other timers are in the game that we just don't know about, you know?
All timers speedrun.
Yeah, right? Well, I will
Add
say,
it to the memer boards.
Somebody in chat gave me a compliment saying that this was a really cool challenge. Appreciate that. There was the inspiration for this challenge. Well, I already said thank you and already went through all that. But anyways, the inspiration for this challenge was actually GoGo adding timers to the memer boards. You know the Banjo-Tooie memer boards? There's a section for timers too, and I was like, that could be interesting. Where are those? So
the section I want to remove.
Laynon says he's going past 20, question mark, question mark. Laynon, are you finished, by the way? Ooh, yeah, look at that. Laynon done. Good job, Laynon. Alpha,
GG.
We suspect he doesn't know how to make the counter go down, so we think this might be his last one.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now.
GG. Well, whatever you were going to say, you have 24 seconds to figure it out.
I know, I'm thinking.
The music's going fast. Think faster.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
This was kind of a meme that I was a little worried about. Like, would this challenge be boring with so much waiting around? But
that's what I was thinking. When the race first started, I was thinking like, man, this is probably going to be really boring for the restream. Just everyone just doing nothing in mini games, waiting.
I mean, you had one where everyone just sat around pooping eggs off of.
Yeah, that was a good
for like
meme.
10 minutes.
All right, is Alpha
right,
Real Z done?
Now Alpha's probably done.
I don't know. He's moving. LMFAO. Is he done?
Yeah, drag him in. I imagine he's done. Yeah, he's done.
All right, GG's.
All right, GG, Alpha.
GG's for real. Turn the timer off.
All right, GG.
Alpha, we can't hear you.
Okay, I had my earbuds in my TV. I'm good.
Did you get 20 or 21?
21.
Then why didn't you stop at 20?
I forgot.
So when we pulled
dragged
you in here,
we pulled you in here and we were like, all right, GG, and then we're like, oh, maybe
I can't hear you. I can't hear you guys.
Oh.
Oh, so did you like think that the challenge was to go to 25 or?
No, I just thought it was a 2-hour time limit.
Oh,
and then I
get
saw
as many
line...
timers as you can?
Yeah, and then I saw line and say done, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then you went back and read the picture that said 20.
Yeah, then I was like, what the fuck?
So, yeah, just go back to your stream and report whatever time you got your 20th one at.
Okay.
So yeah, GG's. What'd you think, Alpha? I know that you had a lot of trouble with the pot of gold switch. That was fun.
Yeah, like, bro, like, I kept forgetting. Like, there was so many mini games that I forgot you had to beat them to proceed to the next one. I lost kickball twice. And I lost dodgems, like, because I was just sitting there, like, waiting for the fucking game to end.
Okay, so Alpha, I did the same thing, and then Mumbo gave a reminder to all runners, like, by the way, when you win games, the timer also ticks down, and I was like, it's a good thing I saw that, otherwise it would have been a really long kickball.
And then same thing with the B switch and CCL, like, I was just standing there shooting up at it, but you shoot too slow, so I forgot, I got it right at 1.